Welcome back to the Growth Blueprint, where we take a deep dive into the news to help you unlock your potential. Today, we're going to be looking at some articles that cover personal growth, business innovation, even maybe a little touch of seduction.
Yeah, sounds like we've got a pretty interesting mix today.
Definitely. We're going to kick things off with Tiny Buddha's take on anxiety during transition.
So how are they tackling that?
Well, their podcast episode 3494, A Reason to Feel Less Anxious During Times of Transition, emphasizes embracing uncertainty and building resilience.
Ah, that makes sense.
It's a powerful message, especially in today's world. Everything changes so fast.
Absolutely. This actually ties in nicely with the need for adaptability in the age of AI.
Oh, how so?
Well, Asian Efficiency has an article, Why Productivity Skills Matter More in an AI-Powered World. And they basically say if AI is going to be taking over routine tasks, our human skills, those things that make us unique, like critical thinking, creativity, and adaptability, are going to become even more important.
It's like the more AI advances, the more we need to focus on what makes us human.
Exactly.
I love how Tiny Buddha puts it. We don't have to have all the answers right away. Sometimes the best thing we could do is take one step at a time and trust that the path will unfold.
It's so true. I think a lot of times we get caught up in wanting to know everything all at once, but that's just not how life works.
Right. It's more about being comfortable with not knowing and being open to the journey.
Exactly. And speaking of journeys, have you ever thought about a time when you faced a major change? It could be anything, a career shift, a personal challenge, whatever.
I'm sure we've all been there at some point.
Right. So how did embracing the unknown rather than resisting it, how did that lead to a positive outcome?
It's almost like a reframing, isn't it? Instead of seeing change as something scary, it's an opportunity for growth.
Exactly. And that's the essence of a growth mindset, which is so crucial in today's world.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about unlocking potential through learning. I came across this article from Addicted to Success called Doing This for 30 Minutes a Day Can Unlock Your Full Potential.
Oh, that sounds intriguing. What's this they're talking about?
It's all about the power of continuous learning.
Ah, so it's not about some magic trick, but rather the consistency of dedicating time to learn something new.
Right. And we actually have a real-world example of this.
Oh, really? Tell me more.
It's from an article by Darius Foru, and he talks about creating an online course with AI in just 2 weeks.
Wow, that's incredibly fast.
I know, right? It really highlights how accessible online learning platforms are and how quickly we can acquire new skills these days.
Especially with AI, I feel like the possibilities are endless.
Absolutely. So think about this. If Darius can master a new skill in 2 weeks using AI, what could you accomplish in a year by dedicating just 30 minutes a day to learning?
That's a great question for our listeners to ponder.
It really makes you think about what's possible when we prioritize continuous learning.
And in a world that's constantly changing, learning really isn't optional anymore. It's essential for staying relevant.
I completely agree. Now let's jump into the business world for a bit. Ahani now has an article called How to Create a Customer Experience That Will Keep People Coming Back.
Customer experience, that's a hot topic these days. What's their take on it?
Well, they really emphasize building strong relationships, understanding customer needs, and exceeding expectations.
It's interesting how that ties back to personal growth too, right? It's all about building strong connections.
Absolutely. Whether it's with customers, colleagues, or loved ones, that approach of understanding their needs and exceeding expectations is what creates lasting bonds.
So true.
One of the specific things Ahani now suggests is personalizing interactions and offering exceptional customer service, even going above and beyond to surprise and delight your customers.
Makes sense. It's all about making people feel valued and appreciated.
Right. Now think about a company that consistently provides a fantastic customer experience. What makes it so great?
That's a good question. I bet everyone has a company that comes to mind.
It's fascinating to see how those companies go above and beyond to create those positive experiences. It's interesting to think about this approach in the context of seduction, too.
Oh, seduction and company culture. How do those two connect?
Well, think about it. What draws you to certain companies?
That's a good question.
Isn't it those same qualities that draw you to people? A sense of shared values, excitement, feeling understood.
Yeah, I can see that. Confidence, authenticity, understanding others' needs, these are attractive qualities in any context.
So how can leaders cultivate that kind of irresistible allure within their teams? Is it about mirroring what attracts us to people we admire?
That's an interesting thought. Mind Valley Pulse actually has an article on this featuring Stephen Meyer's recommendations for building a strong company culture.
And what does he suggest?
He emphasizes authenticity, transparency, and focusing on employee development. These things resonate with what we find attractive in personal relationships. Trust, respect, shared values.
So it seems like whether we're talking about personal relationships, customer experiences, or company culture, creating authentic connections and fostering a sense of belonging is key.
Absolutely.
But before we dive deeper into that, let's explore the importance of letting go of what no longer serves us.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Mark and Angel Hacklife have an article called 10 Painfully Obvious Truths About Life Everyone Forgets Too Soon. And it's all about letting go of negative thoughts and past burdens to make room for growth.
It's like decluttering your mind to make space for new possibilities.
Exactly. And this ties in perfectly with the Be More with Less article, 10 Heavy Things You Don't Have to Carry Anymore. Holding on to resentment, guilt, or self-doubt, it just weighs us down and prevents us from moving forward.
It's like carrying around unnecessary baggage.
Right. So what's one heavy thing you can let go of today to make space for more growth?
It's a great question to consider. We often get so caught up in the past or worried about the future that we forget to focus on what we can control right now.
So true. And speaking of focusing on the present, the Positivity blog offers some practical strategies for cultivating a more positive and productive mindset. They have articles on Gratitude Positive Monday, quotes, quick habits for changing your life in 2 minutes a day.
I like that. Small changes can make a big difference.
Exactly, like starting a gratitude journal. It's a simple yet powerful way to shift your focus to the good.
And incorporating those small positive habits into your routine, even something as quick as a 2-minute meditation, can really make a difference in reducing stress and improving focus.
Absolutely. So what positive change could you implement in just 2 minutes a day to start building momentum towards your goals?
It's all about taking those small steps consistently. Those are what lead to big transformations.
Couldn't agree more. It's all about taking action and experimenting to find what works best for you. And in a world that's constantly changing, that ability to adapt is arguably the most valuable skill we can develop.
I think that's a great takeaway.
Yeah, embracing change, seeing challenges as opportunities for growth, that's the key to unlocking your full potential.
Sounds like a blueprint for success in any area of life.
Exactly.
And it's not just about adapting to external changes, but also the ones within ourselves, right?
You're absolutely right. It's about that inner evolution as well.
So we've seen all these different ways to unlock potential, embracing uncertainty, committing to learning, building those strong connections.
And we can't forget about letting go of those things that hold us back, those negative thoughts, the limiting beliefs, the burdens from the past.
Yeah, it seems like today's blueprint is less about concrete steps and more about just having the right mindset.
I completely agree. It's like a foundation for everything else. Embracing uncertainty, committing to learning, building those relationships, and letting go of what no longer serves us. Growth really is all about continuous evolution.
And with that evolution comes experimentation.
Oh, I like that.
It brings us to this final thought-provoking question. If we see our lives as these ongoing experiments in personal and professional growth, what bold hypothesis are you ready to test this week? That's a really powerful question to think about. It's like we're all scientists in a way, constantly experimenting in our own lives.
Each of us has our own unique path to follow, our own experiments to run. And that's what makes personal growth so exciting. It's this continuous journey of discovery.
Yeah, the key is to stay curious, embrace the unknown, and never stop learning and growing.
Well said. And on that note, thank you for joining us for this deep dive on the Growth Blueprint.
We hope you found some valuable insights today to help you unlock your potential.
Remember, growth is an ongoing journey. Embrace those challenges, stay curious, and never stop experimenting. We'll see you back here tomorrow for another episode of The Growth Blueprint.
When we'll continue to explore all the latest news and ideas to help you thrive.
Until then, keep those growth mindsets going.